Mastermind sessions by the Escano brothers, the #1 content creator duo for the world's leading millennial influencers and brands, with work featured in Forbes, Entrepreneur, and Inc. magazine. This is the meeting for the purpose-driven, making moves in entrepreneurship, creating lifestyle, and shaping culture. Come through and vibe.
So Mark, how was your experience interviewing Hershey Hilado?
Man, funny thing, it's been a while since been trying to tee up this interview with her, and it was an amazing opportunity and experience getting to know someone who's really gone through the trenches in building not only a business, but building her life from literally scratch. She's got one of the most incredible transformation stories, so compelling that I can't even imagine what she's gone through. So I've been really honored and privileged to have this time speaking with her, getting to know her lessons and how she really brings this onto her business and how she's really impacting people, not only in the Philippines, but people at a global scale.
That's huge, bro. So what can we expect in this episode today?
So Hershey really teaches us how to rise from the top, from little to no resources. She'll also teach us how to adapt and to survive to change in difficult circumstances. And lastly, why it's important to put yourself first before serving others.
All right, welcome guys. So today we have an amazing guest by the name of Hershey Hilado, who currently is now based in the Philippines, where she originally came from. She spent quite some time here in Melbourne and in Sydney building up her business and is now making it big back home. So she's been in the top 80 women to watch for 2017. She's 30 under 30 influential entrepreneurs for 2016. And she's the CEO of the top 50 most innovative and exciting e-commerce stores in Australia. Business and life mentor, investor, social media and branding guru, and inspirational speaker. So really excited to introduce Hershey. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Oh man, great.
You got an incredible story. It's just really, really compelling. So I really want to deep dive into just everything, your whole journey from the ups and the downs. And yeah, it's cool because your background, Filipina, born and raised there. Myself, Filipino, but born in Melbourne. So it'd be cool to see what your experience is like. So I'm really interested about this interview. Yeah, just to start off, I'd like to hear more about, in terms of your story, how you started off and about where you are today and what is the impact you're making today.
Where I started off, I started off really, really rough. But nowadays, as an adult, I don't really see it as that bad, honestly. Like most people, when they hear my story, it's like, oh, you poor thing. But the difference is that I never really went through the stage where I jumped into the pity train. I never even had a chance to really, feel the pain while I was in that situation. I didn't have the option to. I literally, all my life, my instinct is just to survive. And that became my greatest asset to this day. There is no problems, there is no adversity for me that is impossible to overcome. It's because of what I've been exercising pretty much all my life.
What was life like for you back then?
I've experienced being homeless for more than 2 years. I'm a shoplifter. I shoplifted. I steal clothes from shopping centers and I resell that on the street so I can, have some money for the rent and then feed my siblings, send them to school. I've got involved into a gang. I've gotten arrested more than 6 times a month doing that. And I was just literally the most rebellious kid I ever know. I think I did all of the mistakes by the books, honestly, man. And it wasn't something that I wanted to do intentionally. But then, there's a lot of external factors why we do what we do. And for me back then, I don't even go to school. I hated school because in school they don't understand the way I think. There's just no such thing here as, people are listening. Nobody wants to get into other people's business. If they see there's something wrong here, they just pretend like it's not happening. And that is something that I took growing up and said, if I see something wrong, I'm going to say something. Sometimes when people ask me, I forget stuff that happened. It's like, that actually happened. It's because my life happened so quick, man. I didn't even have a chance to experience my childhood. I never owned a freaking doll. Nothing, because all I had to do was just survive and work and look after my siblings. That's all I was doing. Literally my whole life, my whole teenage life was for other people, for the people that I care and love, you know. And then when I started my business, that's when I realized that, you know what, it's okay to be selfish and think about your own dreams as well. And in the process, I discovered that sometimes, and most of the time, you've got to be selfish to become selfless.
Right.
And in order to do more good and to impact more people, you need to value your time, you got to value yourself, and you have to learn to shut other people's off your life, because you're on your own journey and most people can't understand that, and you can't take people with you.
Man, Hershey's got such a good point there, especially in terms of being selfish. You know, it kind of goes against everything that we've been taught to be so serving. But what she's saying here is really taking on that attitude to help yourself first, so that you do have this value being developed and created so that you can serve people at the highest level. What are your thoughts, dude, on this?
I think that's huge, because you can't genuinely serve anybody unless you've been through that experience yourself. And I think a lot of people put on a facade, and it's pretty prevalent now these days with social media that they're here to help you, but if you look at their track record, they haven't been through it themselves. And so I think going through that yourself and understanding what it actually takes through your experience, then you can genuinely serve someone else and really better their life, because you yourself have been through it.
So it's constantly been like that. Like, it's all about just creating and really subtracting people, like creating more opportunities and subtracting unnecessary baggage in your life. My value system is I'm very selfless. I value contribution. Right? You've got to come back into what do you value as a human being, as a person. And I found myself like asking, like, is this it? Like, this is the success that they're talking about back home. Now, like, you know, just earn a living, make some money and stuff like that. But I think the lesson that I've learned coming from nothing to something really is to know that whatever that we've gone through, it was temporary. But it is our responsibility to find the lesson within that. And I think the greatest lesson for me is that don't ever go into the self-pity train, honestly, man. Because once you do that, you already put yourself in so much darkness. You've already given yourself no hope to survive or to move forward in life. And like growing up here with zero support, you have to become your own hero. I'm gonna go back into it. Like, you have to think that nobody's gonna come and help you, as much as it is so harsh, but that was the kind of mentality that I had back then. Nobody's gonna come and pat you at the back, take you on their house, feed you and send you to school. Just nobody. And thinking that you have to do it all on your own, then you have to push yourself. And that was the only thing that I had, really, myself. You can't rely on other people. If you want to do something, you go do it yourself. So where I am now is I'm really in a mission to really support the entrepreneurial community here in the Philippines and to really give everything that I've got. I really believe that the purpose of why I came to Australia, lived there for 10 years, learned what I did, it's because I had to go back home and bring it back here and contribute it to like aspiring entrepreneurs and Filipinos. Because the problem in this country is that there's so many employees, but there is not enough employers. That's the problem. And, you know, I've grown up with my mom working in Hong Kong and stuff, and it does create a lot of distance between families and stuff. And also, where I'm going is, for me, I'm just living the dream, man. Like, I can't ask for more, because I'm living my dream away. That's the difference. And where I'm going is, I'm creating a movement here. I'm creating a movement here in the Philippines that I know that is going to change everything for the next few years, especially on the education landscape here. I'm trying to innovate. I'm trying to disrupt the education system here, and I've got a lot of support from that. So that's something that I look forward to every day.
Your headline is from homelessness to millionaire status.
To be honest, that's something I don't really like, that millionaire status thing, because the millionaire is just like, it's just a status, man. Like, for me, I want them to realize more that successful is not just a measure of money and how much you have in your bank account. Really, they need to understand that success is more of a inner peace. It's more of an inner fulfillment and contribution. That it's all about that.
Yeah.
So from where I was before, you know, I used to like wish someone could come and fucking save me. But nowadays, I decided that one day, no, it's not gonna happen. I need to become my own hero. And nowadays, what I hear people say is that my strength became theirs. And every day, every time I receive messages from people and reading that because of you, Hersh, I didn't give up. And for me, that's a legacy. That's a fulfillment of my own life that I never wished before, but now that I have it, it's like I'm so fucking grateful.
Again, I think that this is a very important point, because success really, and this is for us as well, it's really about the contribution and the impact that we make versus the status and the amount of money that you have. Because there's a lot of people who have a lot of money but don't have the character. They don't treat people with respect, or they don't genuinely want to help people. I think the real impact and the real success comes from the influence and the way that you've been able to contribute to someone's life in a positive way.
That's dope, dude. I really truly believe that, man, as well. And I think it takes a real shift in one's journey to truly understand that we are here to impact, to really influence, and it really comes down to people's intentions. You know, once we focus on impact, the income is the byproduct. That becomes a scoreboard of the amount of impact that you're making.
I'm the kind of person that I believe in choices, right? But if I were to look back then, I really had no choice. Now, it was either me committing suicide or steal just to support my siblings and for me to eat. That was the only choice that I had. Okay, so like switching my mentality from being selfish in order to become selfless, it takes a lot of journey within to realize that. Right. It takes a lot of discipline for you to just recognize your own worth, your own value, to learn how to say no to other people in order to say yes to you. Because let's just say that if I just allow my friends to just say, hey Hersh, let's go clubbing this Friday and stuff. Let's just say they ask me that and my answer is yes. Now I have to question that answer. Am I saying yes to them or am I saying yes to me? Now, if I just say yes to them because I just want to hang out with them and get drunk and stuff, then really there is something that I know that there's no ROI in that kind of activity, you know. But if I say no, I stay back home, I start like working in my business and learning more about personal development. But really, I was saying yes to me. I said no, so then I can say yes to me.
Our call to action for this episode is, what's one selfish thing that you need to do in order to become selfless? Are you ready to take action?
We've created a free action guide for you just for this episode.
Check out escanobrothers.com/004. We appreciate you joining us here at Mastermind Sessions. If you're loving this content, be sure to subscribe.
And if you learned a thing or two and have some valuable feedback for us, leave us a rate and review. We would greatly appreciate it, and we would love to read your feedback.
You were just a part of Mastermind Sessions.